You ever leave a conversation knowing you should have said something, but you didn't? And you replay it in your head 100 times what you could have said, should have said, but instead you swallowed it, smiled, and walked away. And here's the truth. Holding it in doesn't make you nice. It makes you resentful. Now, most people think there are only two ways to handle conflict: blow up and burn bridges, or bite your tongue and fake peace. But there's a third path, one most people were never taught. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to confront someone who's hurt you without spiraling into drama, guilt, or shutdown. Now, it's a framework using conscious communication that'll teach you how to speak your truth, own your emotions, and create space for real resolution. Now, most of us were never taught how to deal with conflict. You either watch people explode or watch them pretend nothing happened. So now when someone crosses the line, you freeze, you doubt yourself, and you wonder if you're overreacting. And even when you do speak up, it comes out charged, clumsy, or worse, it gets dismissed. Conflict doesn't have to mean combat. Handled right, it's a portal to deeper trust and clarity. See, the real issue is we confuse emotional honesty with emotional dumping. We think speaking our truth means making someone wrong, or we wait until we're at that breaking point, then wonder why they get defensive. But this video, it isn't about calling people out, it's about calling people in with clarity, confidence, and calmness. So, if you avoid having the hard conversations, but then replay it in your head over and over again, if you stay quiet, but then build resentment, or speak up, but you escalate the situation instead of connecting and resolving it, and what you need isn't more courage, you need a process. So let's start with step one. Don't start the conversation in chaos. A rushed moment, a public setting, or even worse, over text. And that doesn't feel like honesty, it feels like an ambush. It puts the person on edge before you've even said anything. Don't say, "we need to talk." That phrase is a panic trigger. It's vague, it's ominous, and it makes people brace for the worst. And you're not opening a door, you're actually sounding an alarm. So here's what to do instead. Set the space. Be intentional about the time, the place, and your tone. Say something like, "Hey, there's something on my mind I've been wanting to share with you. Can we set up a time to talk?" That line does two powerful things. One, it shows respect, that you're not just dropping a bomb out of nowhere. And two, it creates readiness. You both walk into the meeting grounded, not guarded. And this is how you lead the energy of the conversation before it even begins. And one more thing, align your state. Don't rehearse your pain, regulate your nervous system. Visualize a grounded, connected outcome. Because the most powerful person in any conversation is the one who controls their state, not the one who dominates the room. You're not just showing up to talk, you're showing up to set the tone. And once the space is set, your next move isn't to point fingers, it's to take ownership. Now here's where most people sabotage the moment. They start with blame. "You made me feel disrespected. You always cross my boundaries. You never listen." Now, while it may feel true, it lands like an attack, and attacks get blocked. So here's the shift. No one makes you feel anything. They can do something, but what it activates in you, that's yours. So instead, try saying this. "When this thing happened, I felt a certain emotion." For example, "When you didn't respond to my message for a few days, I felt dismissed and confused. I started making up stories that maybe I wasn't important to you." I mean, see the difference? You're not pointing fingers, you're holding up a mirror. You're sharing your emotional truth without making them the villain. And this opens the door to empathy because people shut down when they feel attacked, but open up when they feel safe. And taking ownership, it isn't weakness, it's emotional intelligence. It tells them, "I'm responsible for my experience, and I want to share it with you, not to punish, but to understand." And that changes everything. And once you've shared your truth, pause. The next step is the secret to transforming confrontation into connection. Ask questions and get curious, because most people walk into conflict wearing armor, not an open heart. We so badly want to be understood that we rarely stop to understand. So here's what curiosity sounds like. Can you help me understand what was going on for you at that time? Or what were you feeling when that happened? You could also ask, is there something I might have missed or misread? Now, you're not interrogating, you're inviting. Curiosity says, I value your perspective, even if I don't agree with it. And that opens up space. Because what often feels like disrespect is actually disconnection. And what we label as wrongdoing is actually just a misunderstanding. See, curiosity doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it does reveal context. And that context can shift everything. This is how you go from you versus me to us versus the misunderstanding. So don't assume, ask. And don't accuse, explore. And once you understand where they were coming from, don't just leave it there, because clarity without direction leads to repetition. Now it's time to get clear about what you need moving forward. Now you've shared your experience and you've heard theirs. It's time to anchor the conversation in action, because without a clear ask, you don't get change, you just get more of the same. So be specific and say, in the future, I'd love it if you could check in with me instead of going silent. Or, what helps me feel safe is open communication even when it's messy. You can also ask, can we agree to call it out if this pattern shows up again? See, you're not demanding, you're setting a new relational standard. You're saying, I'm not here to punish, I'm here to co-create a better way forward. And if they can't meet you in that clarity, that's valuable info, no drama needed. Because clarity is closure. This step turns a one-time confrontation into long-term evolution. See, most people avoid confrontation because they think it'll break the relationship or they'll be rejected. But the real danger is what happens when you don't speak. Unspoken tension becomes withdrawal, passive aggression, disconnection, and ultimately resentment, until the relationship collapses under the weight of everything that was never said. Conscious communication changes that. It's not about being nice all the time. It's about being real with grace, precision, and presence. So next time you feel yourself shutting down or boiling up, pause and come back to this framework. And remember, your words aren't a weapon and communication is a bridge. Now, if this hits home and you want to go deeper, if you're ready to stop shrinking, avoiding, or exploding and start speaking with clarity and confidence, then check out my conscious communication course down below. You'll learn the tools to navigate challenging conversations without feeling guilt, fear, or shut down. Not just in relationships, but in leadership, business, and life. And if this video sparks something for you, then follow that.